Hey Moon Magic Super Souls, welcome to today's readings. Now today is a PowerPoint. Planets are literally aligning in a particular way. This is what we call the kite point. I do these readings every month when we re-engage with an energy point that was actually sort of imprinted. It's an energy point of potential, of possibility. It was imprinted at eclipse season, and every time the moon passes that energy point, we are able to embody that energy and turbocharge the things that we are trying to manifest, and literally to kind of raise our energy or add energy to anything that we are really invested in a good way. So we have three amazing cards to choose from. I'm using cards from an independent creator. If you are returning to the channel, well, first of all, welcome everybody. Welcome back if you're returning to the channel. Welcome if you are new. If you're returning, you will know I love using independent creator cards. These cards are illustrated and the interpretations written by the wonderful Naomi, and I will put links to her website below, so if these cards are of interest to you and any other cards I use, I will put them all in the description box and in a comment. So I am going to read you these cards, show them to you in more detail, and also show you the crystals that we have as well, and let your intuition guide you to whichever reading or readings is right for you. So for pile one, we have a card, Battle Ready. So this is what it looks like. This is pile one. And this card is sitting with the very beautiful Angelite. Okay. This is what this looks like. It's a beautiful raw crystal. Isn't that amazing? So that's pile one. Okay, pile two, we have the card of Strength. This is pile two. And with pile two, we have the green calcite. Again, really beautiful piece of raw crystal. So that is for pile two. And for pile three, we have the card of World. This is for pile three. And pile three is sitting with a beautiful piece of flint. Now this is a particularly special piece of flint. It's a piece of flint that I picked up inside a crop circle. So really, really beautiful. I always feel it looks like it has the cosmos inside of it. It's quite extraordinary. Amazing energy. So a piece of flint, and that's where this came from. Very interesting markings in it. Yeah, I will say actually this is a piece of flint. When you really sit and look at it, you'll find messages within it actually. Faces will show different images, and it's fascinating how they change. Absolutely remarkable piece of stone. Anyway, that is for pile three with World. So beautiful souls, I'm going to leave the video running for just a few moments longer. Take your time. Take as long as you need. You can press the pause button if you need even more time. And whichever of the crystals or stones are speaking to you, whichever of the cards, that will almost certainly be the right message for you. And if it's more than one, just trust that and go with it. Beautiful souls, thank you for being here. I will see you in the readings in just a moment. Pile one, welcome to your reading. So how are the planets aligning? How is the galactic energy supporting you in being able to manifest something or invest in something that you really want? Let's draw your oracle cards. We have, let's look at these tea leaves first. Okay, I am seeing, do you know, it looks so like a snake. Just noticing the way this is coming out. I'm seeing this, I'm seeing this, and I'm definitely seeing this one and this one. Okay, let's move our beautiful tea leaves over here and draw some more oracle cards for you as well. Wow, your cards are really wanting to come through. I'm seeing this one and this one and this one. Yeah, that is the one. Okay, let's check these out. Very interesting. You have battle ready and you have angelite. That really makes me feel as though whatever you are embarking on, my goodness me, the angels are with you. You have their backing. We have Ceridwen. This is the card of the initiator. Okay, I think you need to take an action in something actually. Now, whether you're procrastinating, we'll find out more, but I do think you need to take action in something. And it may be that you're reticent to do so. Why would you be holding back? Or maybe you're even preparing. And what is the battle energy about? Okay, acceptance we have. We have impartiality and we have completion. Okay. We then have Vine. Seek out information that will help you. We have Broken Bridge. Okay, I can see why you need a completion. We have Bull, plenty of material things, and we have Bull. Do not back down from opposition. Interesting. Battle ready. Show strength and fortitude. Okay. Right, how are we going to do this? I think if we put these sort of like this, we should be able to get these four over here. Somehow. Okay. Right. Okie dokie dokie. Do not back down. Battle ready. This could be a reading of initiation of some sort, or a processing of something, bringing something to a completion that was broken. I think that's what the energy here is actually offering you. And I think that's why the angels, angelite is stepping in. There are really interesting stories in these cards. This is about loving yourself as you are. Impartiality is about loving others just as they are and looking at a situation through the eyes of love. I think that something has broken down in your world, or it's left you on the defensive, like you're ready for battle. And actually, with the Bull, do not back down from opposition, show strength and fortitude. Curious enough, sometimes with these cards, I don't think that the writing on them is necessarily the exact message. Sometimes what they're trying to show is also kind of what's happened and what's gone wrong, or to help us to work out where we go from here. Now, I actually think in your world, my beautiful souls, something has gone amiss. Maybe somebody has done something wrong, or you feel you've done something wrong, or, you know, there's some kind of defensiveness, battle ready. I suspect almost on both sides, you know, maybe there is, on both sides, there's this sense of, you know, how can you see it from somebody else's perspective? And how can they see it from yours? And it doesn't detract from your perspective. This is the interesting thing. You are valid. Your perspective is valid. But I think so is someone else's. This is even completion. I mean, I think you are being asked to bring something to a completion. But even with completion, the story of this is of someone who passes over and they're only remembered, when they are, this is somebody who went to war, was called up to war, so had no choice in it. They were called up to war as a young man, he served his country. But later on, he did loads of amazing things. But when he was laid to rest, it was like he was remembered as a war hero. He wasn't remembered for all the other amazing things. Are you going to be remembered as a war hero? Are you doing battle over something for some of you? Or are there other things that you can move on to? Something has broken down here. Now, if this is not resonating with you, this may not be the right reading for you. Now, this is a point of power. That's what these readings are. They are a point of power where we're finding out what you can do and how the universe is aligning to assist you. Even with Saradwen, the initiator, she was a really, really, really powerful goddess. And she created a potion that she was... it was going to be given to her son, but a young man stole it from her. So there was a wrong deed. He stole this potion. And even though he used all of the gifts that she had put into the potion for her son, so he could shapeshift and he could do all these amazing things because they were magic. This was a magic potion. Even though he used all of these gifts to avoid being caught, eventually she caught him and she swallowed him whole and then rebirthed him. And then when he was rebirthed, it was like he was rebirthed with all of those gifts, and he became a prophet and somebody who was helping the people, which was her original intent. Her original intent was to help the people. And it was her son who was going to become the prophet. In the end, the thief, I guess, who stole the potion, ultimately did become a re-embodiment of her son and became that prophet. So there's something to be transformed here. Something to be shifted from almost like from a space where everything is sort of battle ready and in a space of confrontation, to a place where it can be rebirthed into a place of acceptance and recognition of differences. And somehow maybe you can be seen as a hero of peacetime achievements as well as maybe a hero of wartime achievements. I need more information. Let's get more. I feel like somebody isn't backing down, and that could be you. It could be you that isn't backing down, but someone's not backing down. Someone's not... somebody's really struggling. There is a defence. We're battle ready. Somebody's really struggling. Do you know what's also coming through here? Just if I stick my therapy hat on, PTSD. If some of you there could even be people out there that you are either, this could even be you, or it could be someone else dealing with some kind of PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, where something has really, really left you feeling battle ready. Okay. Maybe ask, please, kindly, for more information about this PowerPoint. How can this energy be used, and what is the universe aligning and organising and orchestrating to support Pile 1 in being empowered, in moving forwards? How is the galactic energy supporting Pile 1? Okay, I'm also seeing that one. Okay, and that one clearly wanted to come as well. Okay. So we have 8 of bows, hearth fire. Okay, I'm really hearing your heart, hearth. We have 4 of stones, protection. We have 3 of vessels, joy. We have the journey. Okay, this is the card of death in a traditional pack. So we've got death and rebirth taking place. We have 4 of vessels, boredom. We have the Knight of Arrows, hawk. And we have the 3 of bows, fulfillment. Okay, very interesting because it's very much a hermit-like figure here that we're seeing here as well. Okay, So this is, and look at the way the snakes on this figure's coat are almost like the caduceus, like the way the snakes are on a caduceus, which is also connected to the magician card. I'm seeing both connections to the magician and the hermit. So this is actually a real card of empowerment, but empowerment through higher knowing, through higher wisdom. I think with the hearth fire, I think this is quite close to home. I think the situation around you, yeah, I do feel it's quite close to home. This could be a neighbour or, it could be a neighbour or someone from your community. And I think something has taken place, something broke down, and it's left you feeling, I think really feeling quite vulnerable. Okay. Now, with the journey, the death card, the rebirth, I think the energy here is inviting you to look at this through a higher vision, and it doesn't mean you accept something that was not okay, but I do think there's a need to accept some sort of difference here. Interesting, with the Four of Vessels, boredom here. And yet we have the Three of Vessels, joy. I feel there's a choice. I think this could be sitting in a place of stalemate. Alternatively, you've got two threes. You've got Three of Bows, fulfillment. You've got Three of Vessels, joy. I think the key to your current situation is actually, it's like looking at this through the eyes of the angels. You know, the angels love everyone. And I think the challenge here is that something could have got to a bit of a stalemate, almost where neither side are prepared to back down. And of course, it's going to take the bigger person to do this. If this will be some kind of something that's broken down, an opposition or a disagreement. There's something here, and you're kind of being asked to bring it to a conclusion. Actually, bring it to a completion. The energy is actually supporting the completion of this circumstance for you. It's inviting you not to let go of your principles, not to stop believing in yourself, but to also not approach it from the position of being battle ready. I think there may be not exactly a compromise here, but I think an acceptance of one another or an agreement of one another. I mean, the story of the impartiality card is this amazing goddess, and I think she's a goddess. Anyway, this is also the crown chakra, so it's like this is somebody who has vision, and we have the hawk here. Look at the way the hawk is sitting on a perch. This is very much, having the ability to look down from a great height and see the bigger picture here. And anyway, this goddess, this amazing person or goddess, there's a big dispute going on between her neighbours. And because the fence needs to be painted, and both of them want the fence to be painted in the colour they want. So one person thinks, I could never live with that colour, and the other person thinks, well, I could never live with that colour. And anyway, she is called in to mediate this situation. Some of you could even be called in to mediate something here, and that might be your role here. But she's called in to mediate something. And in the mediation, what she actually does is she comes along with two pots of paint, and one is the colour that one neighbour loves and wants, and the other is the colour the other neighbour loves and wants. And her instruction is that they paint their side of the fence with the colour that the other person wants. So basically on their side of the fence, they're going to get the colour that they didn't want. And this is about a sort of knowing that, and she understood and knew that when they painted that colour, they would have an appreciation of it, that they would recognise that actually the other person's favourite colour really had some amazing qualities, because now they're seeing it. They're able to see it from almost like it's like bringing somebody else's perspective into their frame of reference. And I think that's what's being shown here. So something that's been broken is to be completed through a different perspective. And I think it's going to really turn things around, because the threes are turning points, and we have the three of bows, which is fulfillment, and the three of vessels, joy. So I think we've got a really good outcome. Isn't it interesting that we have two cards, both represent, we've got two sides of the story, and both represent. I mean, look at this one waving hello. It's like hi, hey over there. And look at this, two pathways. Even though this is a three of bows in this card, we see two very different pathways, and this person stands in the middle of these pathways. I'm going to put these up here actually. I'm just going to stick them here. Okay. And that gives us room for another card actually. Let's do that. Let's draw another card. And I like that. I like the way the cards have shifted. It's like the energy is showing potential here. And the Death card sits beneath Ceridwen. And what did she do? She created a space of rebirth. Somebody stole something that she had spent so long working on and or creating specifically for a purpose. And then somebody used it. But she was able to turn the situation around. She caught the young lad, she swallowed him whole, but she rebirthed him with all of the qualities that were needed for the greater good. Even though she'd intended for her son to be that prophet for the greater good, that would have been he would have become that prophet because she created a magic potion and just given it to him. He wouldn't have worked for it. Whereas the young man who stole the potion, because he kept fleeing from her, he learned all these lessons along the way. So in the end, he kind of had embodied the qualities of the magic that she had put into the potion in the first place. And then, of course, she was able to rebirth him. And all of those qualities were firmly embedded. And so it was the rebirth version of him, which was also connected to her, that created this incredible person who was there to help the people. I feel this is close to home. Let's draw another card. I do feel there's a stalemate with the Four of Vessels, and I think that there is a journey to be undertaken. Part of the journey is about seeing this higher vision, being impartial. This is what's needed to really rise above the immediacy of something in your own world, even though your buttons may well have been pressed. And as I said, it's not suggesting that the way someone's behaving is okay, but this is about the lens through which you view it and finding a space of possibility where a good outcome can arrive. And the outcome is for the highest good of everybody. Okay, it may not be exactly how you would have liked it or how the other person would have liked it, but it's for the highest good of everybody. Let me kindly have one more card to sit here, please, with more guidance and information. Okay, there's definitely that one coming through. Look at that, Queen of Arrows, Swan. This is a card of grace. Swans are graceful. They move with ease, and yet they are incredibly powerful creatures. This reading is asking you to navigate your situation with grace. When we look at something through the eyes of grace, we look at something through the eyes of compassion, impartiality, kindness. So this reading is saying to you, the planets are aligning to support you to literally almost like rebirth a situation, put something to rest and start afresh, kind of older and wiser, as it were, and just to let something go, not to be carrying it with you, not to be on the defensive, but to let it go and start afresh. Or it doesn't mean you forget what's happened, but you are going to be, it doesn't mean you let go of your principles, but there is some kind of a middle ground to be found here. going to draw a few more cards and just ask how this pans out for you, my lovely pile one. May I request, how does this pan out? Wow, look at this, Six of Bows, abundance. Now, the Six of Bows is a card of success. The interesting thing is it's public success as well. If any of you are mediating between two sides, the solution is not, or you're caught between two people, the solution, of course, is the one that honours both parties. This is public success being seen to be successful. So there's something also about being visible in your success and visible in your solution. So rather than being defensive, I would say accountability is a word that's coming through here. If you're involved in any situation that requires accountability or that requires a solution, make something very accountable, because then you will be seen to be holding that higher ground, and you'll be really, really revered because of it. 10 of Stones, home. Isn't that lovely? Because I feel this is close to home with the 8 of Bows. Yeah, I mean, this is where I do think it's close to home, this situation. You are going to be able to find that solution, and I think it will be a peaceful outcome that has a long-term future. Even in this beautiful roundhouse, we see a tree, like an oak tree, growing out of the middle. The seeds you sow at this point in time are going to create longevity. Let me kindly see anything else about where this is going or further information. I mean, I'm just seeing success here. Just seeing success all the way through. Okay, we have the card of balance, and look at those snakes showing up. They are the same snakes that are showing up on this figure's cloak. Look at that. Just said it's like the magician's caduceus. Okay, amazing. Okay, so you will find a balanced solution. And the Knight of Bows, which is the fox energy. You may feel like you're having to be a little bit flexible, a little bit adaptable. If that is the case, it may be because you are holding a greater vision, with the hawk energy. It may be that you are the person who has the greater awareness. You are the person who has the greater knowledge, the greater capacity for consciousness. So I think you have the ability to adapt, to be flexible. You are being asked to be flexible. As I said, it doesn't mean that you let something, you forget something, but I think something really can genuinely be laid to rest, and I think there can be movement forwards, and I think you'll be seen as being almost like a little bit of a hero or a heroine in this scenario, actually, if I'm honest. And I do think there's a longer term future here, and you'll be seen as the one who was able to hold that balance. In the future, I suspect things will be navigated with greater balance, with greater harmony, and your own foxes are so resilient. I think you'll bounce back from this. So this is what I think the planets are supporting you in at this moment in time, as we are sitting in the energetics of this PowerPoint. Pile 1, this is your reading. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing. Thank you all of you who give back through the comments and the super thanks in the comments. Thank you all of you just for being here and supporting the channel. Thank you to those of you who are subscribed. Thank you to those of you who are in the Moon Magic membership area of YouTube and on Patreon. Thank you. Your extra donations are really, really appreciated. Pile 1, tons of love. Pile 2, welcome to your reading, beautiful souls. You have the card of strength. You have the green calcite, which is like a memory stone. Let's draw your oracle cards. How are the planets aligning to support you? How is this galactic energy supporting you at this moment in time to raise your consciousness, to be supported in investing in something you really desire? I'm seeing this. And this is the one. I'm also seeing it's those two, I think actually three. Okay, so those are our tea leaves. Let's move our tea leaves over here. Gosh, there are so many in this pack. It's such a big pack of cards. Beautiful, beautiful energy. Let me move that to one side and let's draw the rest of your oracle cards. May we kindly ask for my beautiful pile 2. How is the galactic energy supporting pile 2 in finding a way to expand, to move forwards, to use this energy in a way that will assist you in your world? Do you know, this is so interesting. Here we have Sarah Dwen. Now, if you were drawn to pile 1, I do need to say, check it out, because this card came out in pile 1 too. So there may well be a message for you. We have prayer, we have discovery, we have guilt. Okay, how is the energy supporting you? What else do we have? Okay, have the card of strength with the wild boar. There's a perseverance coming through here, a courage. And with the card of prayer, now prayer is all about, or the story in this card is all about kind of, like, you know, when we think the grass is always greener, but actually maybe it's not. There may be something right in front of you that is worthy, I think, of persevering with. You might be contemplating moving on from something, but I think there's something around you that is actually worth continuing with. I think that's what we're being shown. Interesting, we have guilt, which is about a card that really does acknowledge that people can kind of guilt trip you. And we have the card of discovery too. Now we've got older woman, dealings or relationship with an older woman. We have barrel, you feel something is lacking in your life, perhaps love, money or goals. Okay, we have knot, which I think there's sort of just a sort of feeling knotted up by something, tangled in something. We have rabbit. This speaks about too much concern with sexual matters, but it isn't always the writing on these cards for me in the way that they come through in the readings. Sometimes the messages are slightly different to the actual wording. So we have March, but I do think there's concern around you. If there are kind of sexual issues, I'm wondering whether some of you are currently heavily involved in the care of somebody. And now it may or may not be an older woman, but nevertheless, I'm wondering if you are currently in the care, feeling like tangled or tied to the care of someone, and you are feeling quite restricted by it in some way, shape or form. The story of discovery is also about someone who is trying to hold on to something. Very interesting. With prayer, it's like feeling like the grass is greener and feeling as though, you know, longing for something else. That's what this feels like, that you're kind of longing for something new or something different. I think we're getting quite some interesting messages. I'm going to voice each of them because this is a general reading, so it's a reading that's going to reach many. I think some of you are in a situation where you're feeling quite knotted up and obligated or tied to somebody, but there's a yearning. There is the bit that's common, I think, common through everything here is a yearning or a longing for something more. Okay, some of you are feeling trapped or stuck. You're committed to something, and it's like you're trying to find the perseverance and the strength to keep going, even though you're really, really not happy with where you are. It could even be for some of you a relationship which is not sexually fulfilling, or indeed you could be in a relationship or in a situation where you've made a commitment to something and it's stopping you from going out and having a life and meeting somebody. But there's something going on here where something is not fulfilled. You are not feeling okay. Now, with the grass is, I think there's a yearning. For some of you, you may even be in a space of grieving, actually, for something, and you're sort of holding on to that rather than allowing yourself to move forwards. You know, you're still knotted up inside. It's been really, really hard to let go of something, even though actually it didn't kind of work out. Now, Saradwin, it's an interesting story in her card because she invested very heavily in something. She invested, I mean, she was a remarkable goddess of the land. She invested in creating this magical potion, which she intended to give to her son. And this would make him this incredible person. So I guess she had an investment in creating a future. And then the potion, somebody else drank it instead. They stole a few sips from it, and she spent her life pursuing them. I mean, eventually she caught them and she swallowed them and rebirthed them, and it was a really good outcome, a really positive outcome of rebirth, which this card does kind of represent. But she spent her life pursuing this person. I'm feeling like for some of you are pursuing something when maybe you should actually stop and walk away, and you may be staying with it because you feel guilty, or somebody has even guilt-tripped you in staying. I think for some of you there is definitely a message of walk away. For others, maybe it's like the other side of the coin, where you're sort of wanting to pursue a dream, and it may be that you are meant to persevere, actually have the strength and the perseverance to stay, to, you know, not to keep on going after it, but to recognize that there might be something right in front of you that is really, really amazing. Let's draw your tarot cards and see where we're taken with this. There could also be, for some of you, now March, we have the card of March here, and at the time of doing this reading, we are in May and early May. It could be that something actually was triggered in March. So this could be whenever you come to this reading. I mean, in many ways, despite this being a PowerPoint, I mean, if you've been drawn to this reading or it showed up in your stream at a completely different time, then there's probably a message for you that you need to hear right now. In which case, if this is resonating with you, I mean, I'm thinking March, April, May, and I mean, it could be like a couple of months ago, or that something happened, or it could have been in springtime that something happened, or that it could even be that you are being awoken here, like you're needing to find that energy of spring. Let's draw your tarot cards. What else are we shown? What's this PowerPoint trying to do to assist my pile twos? So Ace of Vessels, the water of life. I think this energy is, 10, the wheel. Undoubtedly, the energy is trying to get you to change your circumstances and your situation. Whether you are changing your perspective from feeling like the grass is always greener and actually really looking at what you have around you, or I suspect for more of you, this is about recognizing that you need, whatever your longing is, it's having the strength and the courage to go after it. Because actually that's what Saradwin did. She went after something. It was, she pursued something until she got it. And the wheel is turning. There's a new tapestry, a new coat. There's a new coat for you to wear. The Ace of Vessels, the waters of life. I think there is something in you that needs to come alive. I think there is a longing in you and a yearning in you. And the memory stone here. Yeah, I think there is a yearning, a longing. As I said, for some of you, there could even have been a bereavement at some point, and you haven't really yet moved on to grasping life, or you may even be faced with an opportunity, but you're feeling as though, almost feeling guilty about moving forwards. This would be like if you lost somebody, and if this is the case, I'm so, so sorry. But if you lost someone and you've seen someone new, and you really, really like them, they've kind of like, it's really ignited a bit of a passion. At the same time, you're feeling really guilty about allowing yourself to do that. And this is saying it's time to move on. I do think for most of you that, as I said, this is moving on from something. You're being given the energy to support you in moving forwards, moving through any guilt or shame or fear or being tangled in something. There could even be an older woman who is a role model for you or is helping you to move forwards. I'm seeing this as well, and that one. Okay, what do we have? We have the 10 of Stones home. We have the Archer. Aim and fire. I think your reading is really saying to you, you know, put down the guilt. If somebody else is holding you back or telling you you should or you shouldn't, should, shouldn't, ought tos and all that kind of stuff, definitely put that down. 9 of Arrows, dedication. King of Vessels, Heron. This is the King of Cups. And you start with the Ace of Vessels. Dearest, dearest pile 2. There is a yearning in you. And I think it is a time to go off and discover that yearning. Whether you set forth, you have the strength to actually set forth, to start to discover what might be out there, whether there is something that you already would love to do but you haven't initiated it yet. Somebody you really like but you've never even said hello, go say hi. This is definitely a reading that is saying to you, it's time to initiate something, to move something forwards, to pursue something, because that's what Sarah did. She pursued something and she did get to the end goal, even though in her story, eventually, she had intended this magical potion for her son, and as I said, somebody else ate a few drops and she spent her life pursuing them, but she caught them. She swallowed them whole, she rebirthed them, so she had another son, and that son became the prophet of the people, the healer of the people. So actually, she got ultimately the right thing, and the reason he was such a good prophet was because in his previous life, when she was pursuing him, he had to overcome so many hurdles, so he kind of grew in his own right. It's time. It's time for you to stop being knotted up or tangled up in something that is lacking in your life. Embrace your deepest desire. Embrace that energy of spring, that newness, that vitality. It may not be exactly as you imagine it. The grass is always greener. But you know what? You're never going to know what something will be like unless you actually have a go and get there and do it. I think this is really, really clear. The energy is primed for you to actually initiate something, to step up, to move forwards, to have the strength of your convictions. It really, really is. Aim and fire. We then have the 5 of Arrows. We've got frustration. How interesting. We've got 8 of Stones, skill. Lovely. We have Ace of Arrows, the breath of life, and the Green Woman. The Green Woman is the equivalent of the Empress. Right. I think that you may already have tried, you might in the past have tried to start something and it didn't work, had a go, but it didn't kind of work out. In which case, your reading is a real confirmation that was probably because just the energy was not right. The timing wasn't right. Sometimes we have to wait for the planets to align. I remember talking to an astrologer. I think it might have been my younger sister, who is an amazing astrologer, but I have friends who are incredible astrologers as well. And I'm sure she was saying to me, actually, we were talking about someone who wanted to reach out for a relationship and seemed to be reaching out, and nothing was coming. And I said, actually, as an astrologer, how would you view it? And she said, well, actually, really, there are certain specific planetary collaborations that when they come together, it's kind of like the planets are aligned for relationship. So I'd be looking at her chart and saying, looking for when these things are happening, these transits, and saying, right, this is the time to go onto a dating site. Whereas actually at this precise moment in time, it might be that the planets weren't aligned. The planets are aligned now for something you are yearning for, And yeah, for sure, you may have to work at this a little bit. But if you're prepared to commit and you're prepared to work at this, you will develop the skills to do this. So whatever you're yearning for, could be a career, could be love, whatever it is, now is the time to take aim and fire, to get things started, to initiate something, even if it's just one step at a time. Just get started, make those initial steps, because the planetary alignments are here to lift that desire and to expand it, to raise it, to support it. And that is actually what your reading is about, my beautiful pile 2. There is something you desire. Do not sweep it under the carpet. It may even be a memory of something you tried once before, but you were thwarted or you felt it didn't work out. Now is the time. This is when the planets are absolutely aligned to support you. Pile 2, whatever this is for you, let us know in the comments. Keep us posted. Let us know what this incredible desire is that you really, really, really want. And don't be knotted up in anything that is entangling you or making you feel as though you should, or you shouldn't have it, or you can't have it. This is a time to really, really to know that you can, and to know that the galactic energy, the universe, absolutely has your back on this. Pile 2, I am sending you all the love in the world. Thank you so much to those of you who comment. It's wonderful to hear your stories. And thank you to all of you who give back through the super thanks in the comments. Thank you to all of you who are subscribed. That really helps the channel. And thank you to those of you who've been making donations and support the channel through the membership area in YouTube and also on Patreon. Those are the platforms where I put all my extended readings as well as a thank you. You know who you are. Beautiful souls, tons and tons of love. Pile 3, you have the World card, and you also have this incredible piece of flint. Now we're asking, how is the universe, the planets, the galactic energy, how are things aligning to support you at this time in something that you want to invest in? How are you being supported? What energy is coming to you? I am actually seeing that little green one there and that red one too. Okay, so we put our tea leaves over to one side. There are so many in this beautiful pack. Okay. Let's draw some additional oracle cards and see what we are shown for my beautiful pile 3. I'm seeing this one and also this one. May we kindly ask, how are the planets aligning to support, I'm seeing that one too, my beautiful pile 3. Okay, we have Maka, strength and endurance, and the return. Okay. We have the world. It's interesting, when we have a world card, it immediately brings to mind the energy of the world in the tarot card, of something that is completing and a new beginning is arriving. Also the return, like coming home to yourself in some way after a period of strength and where a period of endurance or a test or a challenge. I think something is opening up for you, whether it's like a new beginning, something, as I said, being returned, coming home to yourself. We have quest. Wow. We have destiny. And we have perception. This is very interesting because perception in this particular pack is also about almost like coming full circle in something, and the world has been transformed. Okay, and I remember saying to you right at the start, whenever I sit with this stone, I can see different things in it, and they change, they transform depending on where I am at that time. It's almost as though the messages are shown through the stone and through the patterns in the stone, and I'm shown different things each time. Every time I look at it, I see it almost like from a different perspective. I see something else in it. Something else is shown to me. Okay, very interesting energy. Okay. I think you have been through a period of where there's been a kind of a test. A bit like going on a quest. And it's like a test of faith for some of you. And let me see, we've got hand, in need of help, assistance and guidance. We have club, someone trying to make you do something against your will. A fair woman, dealings or relationship with a woman with blonde, grey or white hair. We have wealth. And we have flag. Do not be tempted to lower your standards. Okay. Let's put this here. In need of a helping hand. Okay, so these readings are about, how is the universe, the galactic energy, how the planets aligning to support you. I think with destiny as well. I mean, this is about a soul relationship. I think you have been on a quest to find someone, okay? And club. Someone trying to make you do something against your will. Well, I think I have said in every one of the readings, sometimes the little bits of writing are not always for me exactly what the message is here. I tend to read them intuitively. I think you're going to be given a helping hand. Look at the way this woman's hands are out here. They're being handed, and this man, his hands are in prayer. I think there is something that you have been searching for, looking for, trying to manifest. Could be wealth, could be abundance, could be a soulmate connection. But I think someone is coming here. It could even be the place where you belong. A home, a sense of family. However we look at it, I think that however hard you've tried, however hard you've tried, I don't think it's yet come in for you. And I think that there's going to be a helping hand. I think that's what's happening here. However, I also think that maybe with the club and Maca, somebody has also tried to get you to kind of do something different. This will be a message for some and not all. I think somebody, for some of you, has tried to get you to fulfill, rather than fulfilling your pathway, the thing you really want, or they've tried to get you to kind of, to accept less. That we are seeing here. Do not be tempted to lower your standards. So I think maybe part of what's taken so long is, for some of you, you really, really have been, I mean, quite rightly so, really determined to uphold what you're looking for. So this could be finding the right place to live, the right people to be around, the right soulmate, as I said, the right job. I think with perception, something is to be shifted. Let's draw your tarot cards and see what else. Because perception does mean that you see something in one way and then you come around the full circle and you see it through a different lens. Let me just check in on this, on what this card is actually telling us within your reading. My beautiful pile threes. What do we have here? We've got Knight of Vessels, Eel. King of Vessels, Heron. Okay. Queen of Arrows, Swan. Gosh, these are big cards. Wow, okay. The Forest, Lovers. Okay. And then this one on the top. Seven of Stones, Healing. Okay. Right. The Return, given a helping hand. The World. The way that things change, different messages come. I think you are to be gifted with a helping hand. I think something that has been really like slippery, it's like evaded you. Something that's been a real slippery eel, something that you want, you desire, you love. You've been on a quest to find it. It's been evading you. It's interesting, the Destiny card. This is kind of connected to a soulmate relationship. But what's really interesting is with their story is that they arrive and they want to be together. And it's sort of almost like it's going to be denied again. And they go to the almost like the high court of ancestors. And they say, look, you know, why can't we be together? It's like they put forward their case and they say, why can't we be together? You know, why shouldn't we be together? Why should we be denied this opportunity? So I think for some of you, it's almost like it feels like an opportunity has been denied to you, or you've been trying to achieve something and it hasn't quite got there, or something has not yet come to you, and I think this is going to be given to you. Now, if you are with somebody, or there's already something in your life, but you haven't managed to get to the finish line, almost like there's too much pressure from other people or external sources, I believe you are going to get to, I think you're going to get what you want, basically. It's like a union, a match made in heaven. You have the King of Vessels, you have the Queen of Arrows. It's interesting how they are kind of apart. They have their backs to one another, and yet this beautiful swan is definitely looking sideways at the heron, and the heron is definitely kind of conscious of her. You can like see it in their faces. There's something that you are to see differently. If any of you, let's look at it, just look at the energy through relationship just for a moment, though this will not be what it is for everybody. But if this is about relationship, this could even be to do with a relationship with someone where, you know, maybe circumstances were such where it was denied, like maybe you come from completely different spiritual or religious backgrounds and people would have opposed it. Or you know, maybe you've really, really liked someone, but they've been unavailable, you know, and rightly so, you've kind of waited. It's been an endurance test. You've waited because it wouldn't be right to be making that connection with that person. But actually, I think something is to change, to shift. The endurance test is to finish. Now, for some of you, you will actually get that something or that person. I think for others, there'll be a healing, so you are free to get another person, but the right person for you, or the right house, or the right community. There's something, I think there is something that you have wanted. And my goodness me, you have been questing for it. You've waited. You've really, really waited for it. Now I think it comes to you. Though, as I said, for something is to be shifted or changed within this. For some of you, there's a healing because you couldn't have something. And now there will be a healing so that you can, because the something that you did want wouldn't have been right, and you'll now get the thing that would be right for you that will be so much better. However, for some of you, there is something was in the way, and that's to be removed, processed. Perhaps even there'll be like a separation in some way, and you are then free to move forwards. Even Maka, I mean, with the strength and endurance test, you know, she had taken on, she was, you know, from the fairies. She was, I believe, a fairy goddess, and she married an earthling, and she could run as swiftly as a horse. She had these incredible gifts, and indeed, this could connect to your gifts for some of you. If you have felt that you have been denied your gifts, or someone's tried to bludgeon them out of you, or tell you that you can't own them, almost at pain of death. I mean, what happened with Maka was that she She married and married an earthling, but he bragged about her magical skills, that she could run faster than any horse. And then a local king or landowner or something forced her to race against his horses, and she was pregnant and she lost her life. So there was something about, again, that the like something got broken, that she she should have been honored, she should have been respected. She married an earthling because she loved them, and that should have been respected, but it wasn't. And so it's come to an end. But of course that means she can rebirth and restart afresh. There's a return. I almost feel for some of you there's a return to a beginning, which is what we have in the world card. It's an ending and a beginning. There's a return to a beginning, a new pathway, a new opportunity to start afresh. For some of you, you're starting afresh with someone who returns to you, or you move back. You might even be moving back to a location that you left many years before, or returning to a project that you wanted, or a career pathway that you just didn't manage to quite get hold of, or it couldn't get off the ground, or someone put a spanner in the works. Something is returning to you, and whether it comes in the form of something completely new, after a period of either oppression or whatever, or endurance, or it is something that comes back to you in a new form, or there is a healing so you can move on, or literally someone comes back to you and maybe they have changed. They've changed their attitudes. I mean, I'm sure if Maka were to be reborn, and so was her former husband, he would never, ever, ever brag again. He would never put her in that position, because he would want to return. They'd want to return and be together in the purity of that love. He would never risk that. Again, it's like he would learn from his lessons. Somebody could be coming back to you, or even someone could turn around, having tried to get you to do it their way. They will actually come around and see it from a different perspective. Something is to turn around, and it's the energy of the planetary alignments that are making this possible. It brings about a healing and a connection. Whatever that is, as I said, it will be unique to you. Home, person, money, as in career, perhaps a calling. As I said, even your gifts, if your gifts have been stifled, battered out of you, someone said, no, that's not okay. It's not okay for you to be clairvoyant, clairsentient, or, I don't know, read tarot cards, or do whatever you do that is your gift. And as if somehow something comes a full circle. People's perceptions are now changed. The very same people that once tried to limit you come back into your world and want to support you. And, and this is a healing, because they're coming back and saying, I'm so sorry, or gosh, you're amazing, and your gifts are incredible. Something is coming full circle. There is an ending and a new beginning here. Maybe we ask for further information about this. How does it pan out? We have Page of Arrows, Wren. Interesting, Wrens are very territorial. Very territorial. We have the Wheel of Fortune is turning. We have the Knight of Bows, Fox. We have the Fool, the Wanderer. How amazing. And we have the Journey, which is the Death and Rebirth card. Okay, yes, something is absolutely to be transformed here. You could even get an apology from someone comes round, or someone comes back into your world who you think, like the one that got away, or the career pathway. If you'd applied for something and you didn't get it, you could get that call to say, actually, a vacancy's come up, and you were so close. We almost gave you that job. You were the closest second. We've got another vacancy. We would love to have you. We're not even interviewing. This is yours. Something is coming to you that is turning the wheel of fortune. And it is something you've waited for. For some of you, someone literally could be returning to your life, or you could be returning to a location. And this is a lovely, lovely new beginning. It's a new beginning, and it transforms. Something is transformed. perhaps someone has transformed, perhaps they've done the work and they come back and they offer you an apology. I really want to be with you, as I said, or gosh, I'm so sorry that we didn't hire you. You were definitely the one, and we should have done. There is something that is coming round. I think so much healing comes from this, because in some way I think maybe you are validated. You know, wrens are territorial. They're teensy weensy. I don't know if you've ever seen a wren. I have them in my garden. They're beautiful. And they are teensy weensy, but they are known to really look after their own territory. They look after themselves. Do not be tempted to lower your standards, you see. I think this is also yes, another message coming through. If you've held out for something, you know, like let's say you were negotiating a particular salary and you kind of thought, actually I've lost this one. Well, they come back and they say, no, you're actually right, you're worth it. You held out, you get it. The wealth comes in. It may be that somebody gives a helping hand. Maybe you have helped with something even, and you've upheld ethical standards in something, and somehow you get rewarded for it. Dealings or relationship with a woman with blonde, grey or white hair, well, however this is, it could be you or it could be somebody coming in, they could be the hand of assistance. What I feel here is that it's like you've had to possibly hold out for something, basically. Because wrens do really look after their territory, they look after their boundaries. And the wheel is now turning, and the resilience that you've had to develop to wait for this means that something is now coming back to you, and it's fresh and it's new. To have the death and transformation card and the fall, so like somebody could be coming along, as I said, perhaps it's the one that got away coming back into your world, but this time around they've really transformed. It's like, I can see that you were right. Maybe you've often thought, gosh, I let that go, but at the same time, I didn't feel they really, really had my back. Well, now they come back and they're like, do you know what? You were right. I didn't have your back. That's never going to happen again. There is a healing here. Something is being returned to you, whether that is money, relationship, home. Something is being returned. And it's a very, very, very joyous reconnection here. Very beautiful energy, and this is supporting you. This is what the energy is about. In itself, it's not only rewarding and almost like the completion of a quest where you've really held out for what you really wanted, but not only is it the completion of this quest, but amazingly there is this healing in it as well, because it kind of validates your position. Pile 3, this is your reading. This is what the planetary alignments and the PowerPoint are about. This is what the galactic energy is supporting for you. I am sending you all the love in the world. Beautiful souls, tons of love. Thank you so much. So those of you who comment and tell us your stories, it is wonderful in the community to read what's happening in your worlds. Thank you to those of you who give back through the super thanks in the comments, and to those of you who've been donating. You are truly appreciated. And thank you all of you who also donate through the membership area of YouTube and Patreon, which is where I put all of my extended readings. Beautiful souls, tons and tons of love.